Hey friends, welcome back to Llama Mama Kayla's Yarn Tube. I'm Kayla. Thanks for stopping by today. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. I have been just crocheting almost non-stop since I made yesterday's video because I wanted this. I hated I had to break that into 2 videos, but I have worked on it and it was just taking me a little longer than I thought it was going to. Sometimes I forget that my crocheting has changed over the years. And so, I think, oh yeah, I can just whip those out. It'll take a couple hours, Ha ha ha. Some of you could probably do it in a couple hours or 2 or 3 hours or something. But I'm working on, let's see, these 6 little cookies. They're animal macaron cookies. And so that's what I'm working on. And so I had the shells made in yesterday's video. So this is part 2 as I'm finishing these up and putting them together. So actually it's the funnest parts of the video because it's watching them come together. So I have one of my problems was I was trying to figure out how I was going to sew that together. And so I took one and I was single crocheted together. And it was like, no, that's not going to work. So then I took it was the same one. And I was trying to stitch it together, even though it was going to take me a long, long time. And it just was going to be hard on my hand. I went ahead and was testing that out to do it. I hadn't stuffed this yet, so that's why I hadn't closed it up. And so, I went ahead and I was whip stitching around that, and it looked janky. And so, I was like, it's not going to work. So, the pattern only has you to do 1 white ring on 1 half. The other half does not have a white ring. So I thought, well, I'm going to have to put that other white ring and then stitch it together like that. And that looks so much better. When I tried to stitch it together where it wasn't a white on one of the sides, it looked really, really bad. I mean, it looked so bad. Like there's no way I would have admitted that was my project. It looked that bad. So anyway, so I went back and I crocheted a white ring around every one. So one half is bigger than the other. And I don't know. I don't even know. They're both 6 rounds though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, because it had me to do a blue ring of all single crochets, no increasing, then the white ring. And on this one, instead of doing that blue ring, it wanted you to just do the white crochet. And so then I had to come back to this one and did the extra white ring around the edge, because it wanted you to take this and put it to that with no white ring. But I had to do the white ring to be able to sew them together. Anyway, so 1 half is totally bigger than the other, but they should be the same stitches around. So anyway, I'm going back and doing all my parts. I hadn't stuffed that yet, so I can't close it off. That's the frog. I did the bunny ears. I've got the bear ears done. The chick doesn't have any extra. Looks like it would have some wings, but it doesn't. It just has like some eyes and a line for a beak. So this should be the shark, and then this is the cat. Okay, so I'm working on the cat, and this is the first issue I've come across. And I don't know if I'm tired and not thinking straight or what, but here, I'm just going to zoom in and show you guys. Maybe I'll figure it out before this video is over, but okay, so round 1, 2 single crochets. Well, you can't just do 2 single crochets out of thin air. You got to have something to put those 2 single crochets into. So that doesn't make sense to me, because there's nothing ahead of that. 2 single crochets, comma, chain 2 stitches, and 2 single crochets around a magic ring. I just don't know where I'm supposed to put these first 2 single crochets. Like, this is round 1, 2 single crochet, 2 chain stitches, and 2 single crochet around a magic ring. Pull it tight. So I'm thinking maybe this is a AI instructions, and they left out some important part, because you got to put those first 2, and it's supposed to have 6 stitches, and you would if you have 2 single crochets, 2 chain stitches, and 2 single crochets. You're going to end up with 6 stitches is what they want you to end up with. So starting here with the 2 single crochets, you just can't do 2 single crochets without putting them into something. I mean, it doesn't say to chain 2 and 2 single crochets in the first chain, or chain 3 and starting in the second one 2 single crochets. I just don't know. Where do you put these single crochets? Anyway, and this is to make the cat ears, and the only thing else I would know to do is to make these again to be the cat ears. So I may end up doing that. Okay, I got the rabbit one done. I need to look. Oh, my shark. I really like the look of this shark, so looking to see. See, like this one starts off 4 single crochets around a magic ring. So that makes sense, right? And even the next section, when you start that piece, it's 4 single crochets around a magic ring. This one is started off, you know, these single crochets around a magic ring. The rabbit one, you start around a magic ring. That's the only one it doesn't tell you where you're starting these 2 single crochets at. So anyway, that's what I'm gonna work on now, is the shark. Whale, no, it's a shark. It's a shark. And then I gotta, you know, sew them all together, which is taking me a lot of time to sew those together, because, you know, trying my best, and my hand cramps up, and it just takes a while, because I'm sewing them together with this and holding it like this, and it cramps up real fast. But I'm doing it. Because I want them to look right. So anyway, that's where I'm at. I'm still working. I'm going to continue to work on it until I get them done. So I'll be back in just a little bit to show that progress. But I can't wait to get them to come together. I can't wait to see them all come together and how cute they're going to be. So with it being Whip Wednesday, what is your whip today? What kind of project are you working on? Whether you're working on crochet, knit, loom knit, diamond painting, the diamond bead things, or art, or, you know, paper mache, whatever you're working on. Or if you're just resting and taking it easy today and watching TV, tell us what you're watching. Or what you're working on around the house. We all gotta have a goal for today. Whether your goal is to rest and relax, that's a goal. Share it with us. Anyway, I'm gonna work on these and get these 5 cookies finished, so I can move on to something else, because I have I think 3 more Halloween wooble kits that I gotta get done. One of them being one in the haunted house, and 2 of them are packages, I believe. I gotta get my stuff a little bit organized. I did have it organized, and Miss Sissy helped unorganize it, so I have to work on that. Okay, I did get those ears done. I was talking to Eva about it, and she said, yeah, start with the magic ring. And so the pattern here does not say that until the end. You know, I'm used to reading a pattern at the comma, doing what it says before the comma, and then read the pattern to the next comma and, you know, do what it says. But it doesn't even mention the magic ring until the very end. So you're putting all that into the magic ring instead of saying 2 single crochets in a magic ring. They just worded it, you know, a little odd. They should have put that up there, because this is the deal. This is advertised as Learn to Crochet for a Beginner Crocheter, and I just feel like they could have wrote that better, because a beginner crocheter is not going to know how they make 2 single crochets in thin air. They gotta connect to something. And so anyway, so that's the only thing I have found so far that does not jive for me. I did get my top fin done, and now I gotta get the tail fin, and I'll be done. Except putting them together. And, you know, putting faces on them and all that. Still gotta do that part. But I'm just saying, I'll be done with all my crocheting part. So anyway, I wanted to update that I did get my little ears done, and I had everything laid out, and Sissy jumped up here and was grabbing stuff as fast as she could. Like, she was trying to get it all. She wasn't trying to get just one piece. So I had to, like, literally fight her for those pieces. And I moved them over. Ugh, that silly cat. So I'm going to finish this. And I hope my shark comes out as cute as that, right? I really hope so, because that is just too cute. So I'm going to finish that, and then I've got to go get some stuffing and bring over here. I filled up my bag. I keep a bag here under my desk, and I filled it up with stuffing the other day, and I guess I used it all because it's gone. And so got to get that and then go get these all put together. So I'm at the tail end of this now. All the crocheting will be done. It's just putting it together. Oh, I am working on getting my pieces sewn together And it is a challenge for me, but I've got 3 done. Not all the way, because I still need to put the eyes on them and stuff them. Whatever, you know, extra needs to go, like eyes or whatever. And then stuff them, and then I'm going to do the rest of the stuff. But so, I've got those 3 to that point. And I want to get these 3 to that point. Then put the eyes on all of them. And then finish closing them up. And then I can, you know, add the stuff on the outside, the ears and stuff like that. So, I was fighting sleep a little bit ago. I was so sleepy. I kept falling asleep while I was sitting here doing this. I was working on one of those and I kept falling asleep. And my feeding tube alarmed, my pump started alarming, and it was so loud. I jumped. I know, I had to come up out of this chair. I felt like a cartoon character, the way I jerked and jumped. It was just quiet, and all of a sudden it started alarming, and I swear it's the loudest it's ever alarmed. I guess because it was so quiet. So, the battery died in my pump, and so I put it, unhooked, and put it in there at my charging station to charge it. So now I am awake. I got up and used the restroom and got something to drink and all that kind of stuff too. So now I'm awake and I'm back to sewing. Have to rest every now and then, so it's a slow go. But it's going. That's all that matters. I did get my bag for the stuffing and refilled it. So once I get ready to stuff, I got to get my eyes out. There were some eyes that came in that package, but I'm not going to use those eyes because I'm probably going to end up gifting that box. And I'll just leave those items that come in it there. I didn't use anything out of the box except the pattern. So I'm still disappointed that the yarn was so skinny. It did not say that on the advertisement on Amazon. I did, you know, zoom in and look at the pictures, and I could see that it was tube yarn, but I could not see that it was tiny, skinny tube yarn. So I'm a bit disappointed in that. And I don't really, for those patterns on on Amazon, I don't normally pay that much for those patterns because I don't know if if it's worth it. Now I do pay for a Woobles kit because I already know it's worth it. Those patterns, I don't know how the pattern is going to be written. I don't know for sure what the yarn is going to look like. And so I wouldn't pay a lot for a pattern that I'm going to have to turn around and buy yarn for. Right? When it's supposed to be a whole kit, you know, and I'm going to have to turn around and buy my own yarn for it. Now, someone else might be able to use that kind of yarn and that size hook and all that. And so it might not be a bad deal for them. Just like I buy the Woobles kits, and it's not for everybody. So I don't think the Amazon kits are for me, but they might be great for somebody else. But I think I'm about to learn my lesson on them. Stick with what I know. Stick with what I know and what I like. But I do have a couple more kits like this to review. My oh, I better stop. I'm about to close it up. I better stop until I get my eyes on there. This is going to be the cat, so I definitely have to put eyes on it. And here we are for the bunny. And I already pre-cut my yarn. I wrapped it around it like 3 times, trying to ensure that, you know, I have enough yarn to do those. And I hope that does reach all the way. That little gap there, I hope that is enough yarn, because I did wrap around 3 times, hoping to give extra yarn. Well, I'm going to tie on. I usually tie on this yarn using a back loop there. I got up and used my my pump bolus phone that I, you know, hold to my stomach, my side, my abdomen. It's not even on the same side as my stomach, but my abdomen. Got up and got that and held it on there and gave myself a bolus because I got to hurting sitting right here. I'm hoping it will help, but I don't know if it will or not. Okay, so trying to see how this fits on here the best. I always kind of just kind of play these on here. Sometimes it's a little hard just to get started to see where I'm going to put. It'll work out in the end. It always does. It'll work out. Okay. Now I got this one ready to go. Whew. It's been a long day of crocheting on these. I do feel like I spent a long time crocheting on this today. I was thinking in my mind when I ordered that, I was thinking those would be quick, easy makes. I can make up a bunch of those and put in my booth. I'm no longer thinking that at all. I'm not thinking that at all anymore. This has become too much work. I want to go back to my Woobles kits. They're just so easy and just everything's right there for me. I don't have to go look for anything. Everything's right there. This has just been a little bit of a hassle for me. It may not be for other people. So I'm not saying it's a bad kit at all. I'm just saying for me, it's not convenient. This is the week that Hobby Lobby does have yarn on sale. So probably want to swing by there and grab maybe a white and whatever blues the blue they have available. This is the Hobby Lobby blue, and so I want to get some more of that color because eventually I want to do a blue snail, but that takes a lot of yarn. those big snails. The smaller snails don't take as much, but I would love to do at least a medium size blue snail. And I'm not sure exactly which shade of blue or what my shell would be. Anyway, I'm also going to take that book and get some binding done on it. Over the weekend, I had looked through it and figured out I'm going to get mine put into 2 books. One book is going to be the mushrooms, and that's going to be pages, the cover through page 142. And then I'm going to get page 143 through the back cover in book number 2 and get these spiral bound. Because that big solid book is just way too heavy for me to handle. So I had told Eva over the weekend I was going to take that to Office Depot and get them to fix that into 2 books for me. So it won't be so heavy, and plus it'd be spiral bound. And another one of my crochet books I have a few, but I do appreciate the spiral bound books, like my Stringy Ding Dings book, Plenty of Fish in the Sea. That one came spiral bound. It was purchased that way. Very much worth it. And I know some people have bought the Woobles big hardback book spiral bound, and I'm sure they love that, it's being spiral bound. I could even take mine and get it spiral bound. I might take it at the same time, because I do love that Woobles book also. But it would be nice if I could fold the book over. So I might take that to get spiral bound too. The thing is, Office Depot closes at 7 p.m. here in my town. So Big Daddy don't get home from work till 6. So I'd have to do it on a Saturday, I guess. He don't get home from work till 6 p.m. or 6:30 or 7. But even if he got home at 6, it's not enough time to get there and expect them to do work and have it done before 7, Like we might not even get there till about 6:30, 6:40. And I don't know if they could get it done in 20 minutes. And I would hate to put that on them right when they're trying to close. You know what I'm saying? So I'll probably have to wait till a Saturday, but I'm going to put that as my Saturday goal for this coming up weekend. Maybe or maybe not. I'll get it done, but we'll see. But I am going to put that as a plan for Saturday. I want to go get those 2 books spiral bound. Okay. Whew. Got that one done. Well, not finished, but ready to be stuffed. One more. Are y'all still with me? I appreciate you all just hanging out and keeping me a little company here. I'm ready to go sit back and relax a little bit. I have gotten hurting from sitting in this chair, and that's why I went ahead and did my pain pump bolus, because my shoulders and my neck and upper back and shoulders is hurting. And just being hunched over this desk like this for too long of a period, right? Yep. Sometimes these have a certain way that they will fit. when you have like a little indentation like that, and the bottom one has one too, you just kind of get it where it's gonna fit just right. I kind of started over. I usually start like 2 stitches before that little indentation, but this one I wasn't thinking at the moment when I tied on. I'm really tired. Like, I couldn't even figure out that pattern earlier, and it's just because I was so tired. I fell asleep several times while I was sitting here. Like, I was struggling to stay awake until my alarm went off. So, it's Wednesday. We almost made it through the week. I hope your week is going great. Big Daddy's got fire marshal coming out today to inspect the building and sign off that they're ready. Then they have some other certifications to get approved. To get approved and stuff like that. But they're getting close to getting open. They are. They got more employees to hire. Trying to get all the positions, because they gotta hire a lot of nurses, like the day shift, evening shift, night shift, weekends, nurses, techs, and all this kind of stuff. Like, they got a lot of employees they gotta hire. Well, that doesn't look the neatest, but I don't know why. I don't think I did anything different. The others look better than that one. Or than this one is looking. The others look better. Alright guys, well, I'm going to finish sewing this up and start putting in some eyes and all that kind of stuff. Okay, I got the eyes on. I didn't record any of that because it was a struggle, and some of these I barely left any room to get in there to put the eyes. So some of them was really hard. Okay, this is going to be the purple kitty cat. And this one is the pink bunny. The blue shark. And the yellow chick. Here's the brown bear. And this will be the green frog. But the eyes are on its eyes parts right here. So those will be put on the head like that. Alright, so that's what we got going on so far. Right now, I'm imagining them being really cute. And hopefully that's the way they're going to turn out. But first, I need a break. I've been sitting in this chair practically all day, and I need to go recline back and rest. My back, shoulders, everything. But I will be back in just a jiffy. Be seconds for you, but I gotta go rest. But I like how my Whip Wednesday's turning out. So, not too much and I'll be done. Next, I'm going to stuff them. yeah, stuffing next. Hey friends, I am back, and honestly, I'll just tell you that it is now Wednesday. I was working on that. Tuesday night is when I started this part 2 of this video, and so I am so glad that I did that. Started part 2, Tuesday night, while I felt so much better, because today has been a doozy. And I hate that. I really do. But I am working on these, and I'm in the stretch to get it done. I'm already fighting Sassy and Sissy for my desk. They both are insisting, like we just didn't sleep several hours in the chair together. And I just literally got up. Big Daddy came in. We opened some mail real quick, talked about his day, and I literally just came in here from the chair. And they're like, well, thank you. We wanted to move to the desk too. Ugh, them crazy cats. But anyway, so I'm fighting them for my desk. So I'll just tell you, when you have chronic illness, and I hate this part because it doesn't make sense to people. It don't make sense to me. I hate it. I hate that I live this life. But when you do live this life, every day is different. You never know one day the next how it's going to look. Unfortunately, it's always something every day. You don't get a break. Like one day you're swelling really bad, and it's painful, and your legs are weeping. They're swelled so bad, but thankfully that was because of a medication I was on. So the swelling has went down in my legs and all that. So, and then the next day it's something else. And the next day, this is going on. Today, I'm back to throwing up again. And for no apparent reason. Like, I can't say, oh, I ate such and such and I'm throwing up. Like, it's not even like that. It's just, I'm just throwing up for no reason. Other than that's what my body wants to do today. And it gets old. It gets old. Like, nobody wants to do this. I hate to throw up. I hate that feeling. So that's what I've been dealing with today. Paige was here this morning. She did my meds. And wasn't long after that, I felt it coming, and I was like, why'd I take the needle off? I felt it coming, and I looked over, and my emesis bag wasn't there, but the garbage can was, and so I grabbed the garbage can, and by the time I got the garbage can up to me, I was throwing up. Ugh. And Paige, she's so good, she just ran and got me a cold wash rag. Thankfully, I did have some paper towels there beside me. And she got me a cold wash rag, and I was able to just lay back with that cold wash rag on me for a while. But, I mean, it kind of relaxed me a little bit, but then I moved and started throwing up again. But my meds, we putting in my J-port, so they skip my stomach and go on down to the intestines. So that is a good thing. Alright, I don't have to cut those ends because they're just going to be inside. And this is supposed to be a little chick, but it doesn't have any wings. And so I was like, was it going to look like a chick without wings? I don't know. But it's time to stuff her. It's time to get these little bitty cookies done. And my son Dakota is an expert at making these cookies. That is one of his greatest skills, I guess. A lot of people have trouble making these. The humidity has to be just right. And his cookies are really, really good. Like, I remember back in the day when he used to make these, back when I could eat them, he knew when he had an order for these cookies, he knew to go ahead and do several batches. That way the family could eat some and not sit there and beg for the ones he was making for his order when he made them at home. And then when he made them at the bakery and they put on line, people would just come in and just, there was this one man, he would come and buy anywhere from $30 to $60 worth of these cookies at a time. Like, he would buy them out. When they put them online, that they had some in the case, he was there and just buy them out. Buy all that they had. Like, they couldn't even keep them in the case. And he did all kinds of flavors, like wedding cake. The salted caramel, of course, was my favorite. But I'd eat any of them. It didn't matter the flavor. They're so good. Any flavor was delish. But people would order them in certain flavors, And that particular man, him and his wife were like the biggest customers at the bakery for these cookies. Dakota was like, if he don't come, then she comes. One of them's going to be there, and they're going to buy. Sometimes they would come on the same day, and they would both buy like a huge batch of them. and pretty much they would keep them sold out. Okay, let's see. On one of them I was doing, I don't remember which color it was. I was doing it last night, and I got real sleepy as I was doing them, and I don't think I was pulling my tail here tight enough. But anyway, I'm just kind of stitching this together. Come on, hand. You hadn't been doing this all day, so you ought to be good to go. My hand wants to act like it's, it's tired already. Come on, you can't be doing that. We can't be tired. These are going to be so cute. But they weren't easy to make. They were not easy to make. I think, thinking about it while I'm sewing these up, because this is the hardest part to me, I think I can make these without sewing. I think I would just crochet them and then get to a row with the white. I would do the back loop only, crochet the white, and then change to the yellow, crochet front. Well, I don't even know if you'd need to go back loops. You could probably just go yellow and then change back to go white and change back to the yellow and close it up as you're going. I could do these without the sewing mess. And they might be a little faster then. You just have to put the eyes and all that in before you close them up. But this mess, I don't recommend this. I totally recommend just sewing them. I mean, just crocheting them. The white, and then switch them to the yellow. Because, yeah, I ain't crazy about this. I'm not crazy about this mess. But look, I got one closed up. And it is the chick. I feel like that is a lot of white in it. It probably only needs one row of white, but remember I sewing it together without another row of white looked very sloppy, and it's probably the way I was sewing it. But we got one done. Let me close this off. I'm going to go in right here. I'm going to try to stick this other tail in there with it. If I can. If I can, I don't know. Okay. Doing that, fluffing that back out because I didn't want to pull, you know, an indentation in my cookie. But I will do this. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull this too far out. Clip the yarn, and then it will just pop back into the body. And there is my first macaron cookie. I used to make these on a loom, actually. And actually, I used to make these out of 4-weight yarn. But I no longer can do that. So, there we go. The chick. Little chick. It's cute. Yolk's yummy, don't it? Looks like it is overstuffed with the filling. And Dakota does like different flavors of filling. And they do overstuff and they're spilling out because he does fill those really well. Okay. Just putting my needles up in case the cats come and decide to have a little fun. Alright, you're done. Oh, and you see my Rose has on a new hat that came in the mail for her. Well, no, it didn't come in the mail for her. It just came in the mail for, I think it's supposed to fit Blythe dolls. And there, it fits Rose really well. And the inside of the hat has roses on it. So I turned it up like that. I had to put a piece of tape back there. Or you couldn't see her eyes. But the hat is made for Blythe dolls. One of the Blythe doll collector friends on Instagram made that. She is very talented in her sewing skills. Okay. Here is some stuffing that I need to use up first. Ooh, snowing. I don't know what the temps got up too hot today. I've been, you know, laying in there in the air conditioning, staying cool so I didn't get so nauseated. What have you guys done today? I mean, I feel like I can say that now it's the end of the night. What have y'all done today and what's been keeping y'all busy today? I have decided I really need to go to Office Depot and Michael's Hobby Lobby. Now, we do have an Office Depot in Monroe, and if I go to that one, I'm going to Piccadilly and get me some carrot souffle. But if I'm not going to be able to go to Piccadilly to get carrot souffle, then I could go to the Office Depot in West Monroe, and it is next to Hobby Lobby. So, and I don't know if I've ever even been to that Office Depot. I always went to the one in Monroe. Don't know if I ever even been in the West Monroe one. When my kids were younger, we would go to Office Depot and use the copy machine, and the employees in there were always so sweet. I would take my kids things to do, like they could sit at a little table in there and color or whatever they took to play with or something to keep them busy. And I would use the copy machine and make copies of whatever we needed for schoolwork and stuff. I don't know. I don't think I got enough white yarn here to finish sewing this up, so I'll probably have to get some more. I did go through all my Weeble yarn, and well, I didn't go through the scraps left over in my Weeble packages yet. You know what I'm saying? Like what's left over in the kits. I haven't went through that yet, but I went through all my Weeble yarn and put all the Hobby Lobby yarn together, all the Weeble yarn together, all the Michael's Cuddlecraft yarn together, and then all the Amazon tube yarn together. So, and then I got all my variegated yarn in a baggie together. I don't have enough of that to actually warrant a drawer, but I got it all in a big, large, very large Ziploc bag together. And I need some variegated. That's what I wanted to do before I ordered any variegated, was to know what I have. And so now I know I don't really have any. And so I wanted enough of a certain color to make this fidget snake. Y'all have probably seen that online. I wanted to make that fidget snake, but I would need about 150 at least grams, and I'm doing that in grams instead of yards because that's just what is on the Wooble, not Woobles, but some of this kind of yarn packaging. I might have enough. Let's see. But is it going to be enough to actually tie it? I don't have anything there to tie it with. There should be a tail. A tail's in there. But is it secure? I don't know. well, anyway, so I'm proud to get that situated, organized, and I can see that, you know, I could go to Hobby Lobby this week is 30% off yarn and get some more of this blue at Hobby Lobby. And then I could see what all colors I had from Michaels and the Wooble yarn, you know, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I was glad to be able to get that part done. Okay. I don't like that this tail's so tiny. I'm not going to cut that. Instead, I'm going to poke it back in. All right, and this one is going to be the shark, and that's the one I'm most excited about. And I got a little piece of black. So now on my yarn like this, I have 6 of those small stackable drawers. You know, you can buy 3 at a time. You can take the top off of one set and snap the other set on top of it. So now you have like where you did have 3, and then you just take those 3 stack and put on there, and so you have 6. And then I put wheels on the bottom one, and so I have those 6 drawers of where I separated my Wooble type yarn. So I have a drawer of my Michaels, a drawer of the Woobles, a drawer of Hobby Lobby, and a drawer of, what do you call it? Amazons. And of course the Wooble ones are larger, so those are in several, you know. All right, let me see what I got going on here. I want to pretty much put a V in the middle. I'm going to start with a V. Somewhere right like that. And then I took yarn, and I know I pause when I'm talking sometimes. I took yarn that I've been using for different things that doesn't have a label on it anymore, like this, which I know that that's Hobby Lobby yarn. And then I put all that in a basket. Or some of it was in a drawer. And then the smaller ones and the larger ones without, I put in a basket. So I have all that organized, and I'm happy with that. I love that I have it organized like that. That just seems like a big V here, a big V. But And I think one more down on each side would make that look the best. Yeah. Except he's going to have a big wide mouth. And then he has parts that will glue on him. So I should get my hot glue gun warming up over here. Come on. Come on, you got work to do. Where are you at? There you are. You got to get over here and get ready for work. Let me grab my glue sticks. I doubt I need 3, but I got my drain bag tangled up around my feet here. Alright guys, okay, so this is heating up over here. Where's the needle I'm going to use to actually do sewing? Yeah. This. I just want to make sure that I have enough. So I'll have too much. Hopefully, I'll have too much. I might need black on that one, so. Okie dokie dokie. We are going to go in from right here underneath and come out at this orange needle. And I'm going to leave enough down here to tie a knot. Okay, we're going to, when we come back through, we'll do the lines that's missing. And we're going to go in here. Go in this one and go ahead and come out. Come out down here. Oh, I snagged that yarn. I'll have to trim it, but let me try to get finished. In up here and out. Right there. Okay. Now, Alright, so I gotta play this backwards now, going in through here and out through this one. And then go in through here. But where am I going to come out at? I think come out here, because I got to go in here. And back out through here. And then back in through here and down through the bottom. And isn't that going to complete it? Yes. All right. So now I think I've got the shark teeth completed. Let me pull out all these needles so I can see. Yeah. Okay. Where's the piece I had snagged? Well, I guess I took it back in somewhere because I no longer see that. Probably in all that sewing. I do see some stuffing right there that wanted to come out, but in all that sewing, so it took it back in. Alright, so now I can just tie this off. And then I'm going to snip that down and push this knot back in. I could have took thread and just run the tails back through here, but I did not. I think that is the cutest little face. I was most excited about the shark. I really was. And now I have a shark fin, and it goes like this. And then I have a little shark tail, and it goes in the back. So I'm going to put some glue on this and then just put this on the top right there and hope that I have it semi-straight. And we're just hoping for the best. I haven't looked yet. Yay, I think it's going to work. So So just hold that tight on there and push it down some and let that glue cool. And yes, okay, and then at the end, the back here, I'm going to decide which is, and I'm just going to stick it on there just like that. Alright, here we go. Stick it on just like that, push it in, give it just a second to start cooling off. Yeah, I think this one's going to be my favorite. It's the one I've been the most excited to make. Alright, look at that. Let me see, does that need a little bit of glue? Just a drop of glue. Alright, look at that. Alright. I love the shark. I love the shark. Y'all can, go ahead and vote when I get them done. And you see them, y'all can vote on which one y'all like the best. So we have the shark and the chick. You can move back over here. Now we have Bunny, the pink one. And I put a little brown nose on it. I do have some little pink noses, but I gave one to the cat. And so I had a little brown, and bunnies can have little brown noses too. A little fun fact about Phoebe was when I got her, she had a pink nose, and that's what drew me to her. Of all the puppies that it was, she had a pink nose, and I just loved that. The rest of them, had little black or brown noses, and hers was pink. And so I got her. That's the one I wanted. And later, after, I don't know how long, but her nose did turn, but she had a pink nose for a good while. Get the little rabbit done. I'm gonna say these have taken me a while. Like, I think if I was just making one and just crocheted the whole thing without having to, sew it together and all that, it probably wouldn't take as long. But it's been I put a lot of work into these. And I was thinking, as I think I might have said, that, the reason why I really got this pattern was because I was thinking, I'm going to make those up, make a bunch of those, and put them in my crochet booth. Yeah, that's not happening. Even if I could turn around and crochet some together as a one-piece thing and not have to sew them together, I'm not interested in making any more right now. Like, Yeah, I'm done. I'm done. But they would be cute in a booth. But I don't know. I'm just not interested in making any more right now. Maybe around Easter. Alright. Purple. I'm sewing with my metal purple needle. Sassy's on the back of my chair, up on the back part of it, like behind my head. If I was to lay back, I'm leaning forward, but if I was to lay back, she'd, probably put her paw on top of my head. And Sissy is over here climbing over stuff, making her way over here. And I hope she gets distracted before she gets all the way here. Oh, I meant to get a little pom-pom tail. I'm gonna put a little pom-pom tail on the back of this one. Now, the problem is, will I be able to get to my bag of pom-poms? I don't know. I knew when I put them away from the last time I used them. When I put them away, I thought, am I going to be able to get back over here to get these out? I don't know. She has ears and yeah, that is not enough to tie any tie knot. I'm sure I left a longer tail, but it's disappeared up in there. Oh, I think it went through some yarn. I didn't want to do that. No, it didn't. Just kind of doubling back through this right here to make sure this hole is closed up good. I've got 3 more to do. Once I get these done, I'm done for the night. When you don't feel well, you just don't feel well, and it's hard to make yourself do a lot when you don't feel so well. Alright, I think I'm done with that. Okay, I just kind of did it a little bit overboard. Just because I wanted to make sure it was secure. Now, I got 2 strands of white in case I needed to do something. Okay, I went and looked for my bag of pom-poms, and I could not reach the drawer that they're in without moving a lot more than I was willing to do. So I will not be putting a pom-pom on it. I could crochet a little ball, but I don't want to do that either. It'll be so much cuter with a pom-pom. And at some point, I'm going to be able to get stuff moved and get to that drawer and get that drawer open. But until then, we just won't have a pom-pom, and it's okay. We just won't look at the back of it until we get a pom-pom. I forgot I wanted to put some lines on this ear. So that's what I want to do in the ears, but let's see. Before I tie that off, let's see if I can make this one look kind of comparable, like they belong on the same rabbit. Something like that. Let's see. I don't know if I really got that one taller. Yeah, I did. Okay. Now, if I can tie a knot in that short tail, I was afraid I wasn't going to have enough. My white strand wasn't going to be long enough, so I left way too short of a tail. And I'm just going to snip that. I usually tie it twice, but that wasn't the easiest thing to do. There's one ear. Okay. I hate I don't have a tail, but it'll still be cute from the front. We just won't look at the back. Okay. Now, where are we putting these ears? I don't know. Let me look on this pamphlet here and see if I can tell about where the ears are. They're just kind of back behind the eyes. And because this is a spiral, it kind of offsets a little bit, but yep, it's going to go right there. facing this way. Okay. Alright, just going through the motions. Put a glue stick. Just trying not to take my eyes off that hole when I pulled the stick out, the needle out, so I didn't lose the area. Okay, same thing on this side, except this time it's just going to be facing this way. I probably should have done that with the other one, but I wasn't thinking. Okay. Glue, glue, glue. A bunch of glue. There we go. Our little rabbit ears on the little rabbit. Too cute. Too cute. He just needs his bunny tail. It'll come later. One random day when I get my hot glue gun out, I'm just going to have a pom-pom sitting there. And whatever project I'm working on, I'm going to grab my glue gun and put a pom-pom on him. Okay, so now we have a frog. That needs stuffing. Okay, so I did cut the video so that I could get this sewn up to save length on the video because it is getting rather long. And I realized that. And so I struggle with that because I could come on and just show what I made and say, hey, I made this. Here it is. This is what it looks like. I could, very well easily do that. But I like to just sit here and crochet with you guys and talk to you and show you my thought process and why did I do that and how, I just like to chat with you guys while we're crafting. And I assume that you're probably crafting too while you're listening to me ramble. If we were all sitting in my living room or around my dining table, we would just all, take turns talking and work on our craft, no matter, what you're working on. So that's kind of the way I feel when I'm, making these videos. We're just all sitting there crafting. But unfortunately, I'm the only one talking. The only one talking there, so. But I do kind of like to, show my thought process and how I did something or how I came to that. Or, talk about my day while you're crafting and glancing up every now and then to see what I'm doing. And I might mention something and you look up at the screen to see, oh yeah, that is, the right place to put that. Or, oh, I wouldn't put that there. You know, we're all different, so I'm trying to glue these eyes and make sure they are secure and glued on there and not going to fall out. Although it's for me, it's not going anywhere. I still just, you know, trying to make sure it's going to hold together. So anyway, I could, you know, make a shorter video, maybe about a 30-minute video, just saying, hey, I made this, I made this, I made that, I made this one. And some people like that kind of video more than the longer, detailed, rambling, chatting videos. So you can't make everyone happy, but I just like to talk to you guys and tell you about my day and ask questions about your day and show you, you know, like, how did I put that shark, embroidered those shark teeth on there? How do you do this with so many, you know, fingers missing? And so I just like to show those things. Sometimes it does, you know, it's hard to come up with things to chat about other than what's currently going on in my life, such as, I've been throwing up all day. And some people don't want to hear that. I don't want to talk about it either, but I don't have anything else to talk about because that's my life. That's what's currently happening. Okay, let me see. Now, I got to figure out where these eyes are going to go. That's the back where I connected everything. That's always the back. And this is the front. And those eyes, where's the little pamphlet? Here it is. Those eyes are going to kind of be like Henry's eyes back there. Can y'all see Henry? Not really, because he's behind that hat. But his eyes kind of set up there like ears. Okay, I want his eyes to go, his eye to go right there. I mean, right there. Okay, holding it on there for a second. I mean, if I only showed you the project I made and didn't show you like me working on it, most people probably wouldn't believe I made it. Right? So that's kind of in my thought process too, is I show myself making the projects rather than myself. Would you rather look at my ugly face? I'm just saying. Would you rather look at my face just running my mouth? Or would you rather watch me doing something? So I kind of, you know, show myself in some videos so you know, don't forget I'm a real person. Some people might forget. I'm a real person here, you know. Let me see. That's going to be hard to get in the exact spot. Let me see. I just want to put it in right there. So I think I'm going to put a needle showing. Don't come past this. Always try to, once you stick this, you can't undo it. It's there, so. So I'm trying to make sure I do mark the spot so it's about the most even that I can get it with the other one. And it may not end up even after all. This is the nerve-wracking part because you only got one shot. So once you stick it, it's there. It's no like, oh, let me take that off and move it. Look at the frog. I gotta put a little V. I could have put, oh, I have some little curved pieces I could have, but oh, that is so stinking good. Okay, I need 3 right here. Let me find a centerpiece. A center. I'm going to try to embroider a little V right there. Don't have a piece of black floating around. Okie dokie. Now, where's my other needle? Okay, I'm going to go in from the bottom and come out right here. Leave enough to tie a knot with. I'm going to go in here and out over here. Okay. Oh, it's the cutest. That is so cute. Let me tie a little knot. I can't see. I can't even see that. Okay, where's my big pink one? There it is. I'm gonna put it. Try to pull it back through here. Ah. Come on, you can pull on through, and I just need you to barely be in there. Okay, I only have 2 more to make, so I think I will turn the camera off and get those sewn up, and then come back and just glue whatever parts needs to be on it, just to save length on the video, right? Because it's well over an hour at this point. And I don't know, do you have time on a Wednesday night? You don't have to watch it all on a Wednesday night. You can watch it on a Thursday, on a Friday. Save it for the weekend. That is so cute, a little frog. That is so cute. I love it. I love it. Okay. Now I got a kitty cat and a bear. I'm going to stuff those and get those sewn up and then come back and just put any parts. They both have the ears, so I'm going to come back and add the ears with you guys. Okay, I am ready to glue on the bear ears. And these are kind of tricky to place. I turned off this light so it wouldn't be so blinding to try to place these, because that bright light sometimes is blinding. I'm trying to make these not straight up on top of the head. I don't know. These are always tricky to place. Okay, here we go. There's one bear ear. Now, two bear ears. Okay, glue, stick. Ugh. Like that's just going to be so hard to get it right where it needs to go. Okay, maybe if I do it from this side. I don't know. Whatever happens, happens, okay? I did not enter anything into the fair this year. The kids did. Zeke and his brother and two sisters did enter some things, and their mom sent me some pictures today of just showing, you know, a couple things that had placed, and they had ribbons. She didn't have a lot of time to really look through. She went while different kids were at different appointments. She just ran over there real quickly and was dropping a kid off to work. Evie was going to work the petting zoo at the fair in the same building that the arts and craft stuff is. So she just sent me a picture, you know, a couple pictures there to show that some of their stuff did get ribbons, and she didn't have time to look at everybody's, but I'm proud that they've gotten something anyway. I wasn't able to do the art with them that I normally do during the summer because I've just struggled with my health so bad, and I feel bad about that. First off, I enjoy doing it, and I wanted to do it, but I've just been so sick and just struggling, and it's like I've just been going downhill continuously. And I just, you know, wasn't able to do what I wanted to do. And that's hard. That is really, really hard when you struggle and can't do basic, simple things that you would enjoy doing. And so, anyway, their mom knows that I'm very sad about not being able to do all the things I wanted to do with them. So she sent me some pictures, and plus I would love to just go walk through and see all the projects that was entered, because I've done that so many years, ever since my kids were little. We would go enter our things into the fair and then go back on like Tuesday or Wednesday and walk through the fair and see all the entries and the placements and all that kind of stuff, because I'm telling you, we got some talent in our town, and people's imaginations and the things they come up. I just love seeing all that. And I would love to do that this week, but I don't see it happening unless I have a miracle. Unless I have a miracle, I wouldn't be able to go and do that, but I would love to. It really does suck when you have chronic health issues that get to dictate what you can do in life. Ugh. I hate that. That's the worst thing about chronic illnesses, is that it just takes over your life and it gets to say, nope, you're not doing that today. Nope, you're not doing that anymore. And it's a struggle, you know, just to go to town. A lot of times when I do go to town and I'm kicking and screaming in my mind and my body, not, you know, feeling like I can really do it, but I push myself to do it sometimes even when I don't feel like I have it in me to do. And it's good to push yourself sometimes, but then also at times it's good to admit that I just can't do that today. If it's going to make you, you know, way worse than you are at the moment, it's best not to push yourself. But sometimes I just got to get out of this house before I go crazy and need to get out and do things. And I think I said I wasn't going to video this, but I'm talking, so... But yeah, I really wanted to do more art stuff with the kids. I also would love to go and look at all the entries, even though I didn't enter anything. I just like seeing people's art. That's, you know, that would be a joyful thing for me to do. I know people who don't struggle and don't have health issues. They don't understand the energy it takes to do the simplest things. Just to get a shower nearly just wipes me out for the whole day. If I'm going to go anywhere and do something, I got to get a shower the night before. Because to get up and get a shower that morning and then carry on with the day and try to do activities or leave the house or anything, it's just too much. And people can sit there and run their mouth all day long saying, well, you need to do this, you need to do that. Well, until you walk in my shoes, you don't have a clue, sister. You don't have a clue what this life is like. People will say things like, well, why don't you do this, or why don't you do that, or why can't you do this or that? And I'm thinking, hello? Wouldn't that be obvious? But I guess it's not to some people. I don't know. People just forget. People forget. Shoot, Jody forgets, so I don't really, hold that against anyone that forgets, you know, that I only have a thumb and a pinky and it's very difficult to do things. I don't really hold that against people because they forget. As my friend Eva was saying, that she took that, I think it's called Coban stuff, that after you give blood or get IV or something, you know, they might wrap your arm in that Coban stuff that kind of just sticks to itself. Instead, they use that a lot now instead of like Band-Aids or whatever. She took that stuff and wrapped all her fingers down except for her pinky and 2 thumbs and tried to crochet and do stuff and all. And she was like, I don't know how you do it. Well, I don't have a choice but to do it. I don't get to take the tape off. Look how cute the little cat is with the pink nose. Okay. Oh, tell me. I was like, oh, tell me my ears are over here. I call myself kind of hiding them from Sissy Girl. Because she would love to take them. Okay, I'm going to put a... Well, I'm trying to decide which is the front and which is the back of this ear. Okay, I think that's the front. Oh, that looks a little wonky. And I'm going to put a dot of glue right here. And just glue that piece up. I've been so tired while I've been working on these because I'm struggling with my health. And I think it's in this video. It seems like it was days ago at this moment where I was trying to read the pattern and figure that out. And it doesn't mention like the magic ring till the end of the pattern, where other places says, you know, put 4 single crochets into a magic ring. This one didn't mention the magic ring until the very end of the whole thing. And my mind was just like zoning out on that. Okay, cat ears. Cat ears, okay. That would be perfect. But I need to mark it. Okay. Below that. So right here. Okay, on the other side. Below and to the back, just a little of that. See, this one is far back from the eyes. Let me see. 1, 2, 3. I see 3 holes. 1, 2, 3. Because it's in a spiral, sometimes it's just a little hard to line things up correctly that's in a spiral. Okay, I'm going to put this right here. And we're going to like it, even if it looks weird. We're going to pretend like it doesn't look weird. Okay, I've got a glob of glue on there. Too much. Too much, too much. There's cat ear number 1. Okay, I'm just going to stick some of these back over here. Trying to keep my desk cleaned up as I go. So I don't have a lot to do, you know, when I finish projects. Okay. Where'd my cat ear go? There it is. Alright. It is going to kind of go right there. And I'm just going to turn it around because it's easier to do it with this hand and the glue gun with this hand, because it's hard to hold pieces in this. Ugh. And I've had to change that up over the years. As I've lost different fingers, I've had to just change up how I do things, find the most comfortable way, and what works best for me today, because that might not be what was easiest yesterday. Okay. And sometimes ears do get put on wonky, and we live with it. We say, oh, I love it. I love that it's crooked. And there is my cat ears on here. Y'all, I have finished these. And I really, truly love them. Now, this, kit did come from Amazon. The tube yarn was too small for me to use, so I used my own yarn. The little pattern is really cute. The only mistake I saw was on that ear, that I don't think the directions were just clear enough for a beginner crocheter. But, we figured it out. We worked it. And here they are. So we have a little purple kitty cat macaron cookie. Or macarons. I always say it different. I always say it wrong. Dakota corrects me every time. Macaroon or macaron? Macaron. I'm sure it's macaron. Okay. It's purple macaron kitty. Here's a brown teddy bear. A green froggy cookie. That is so cute. And I bet they're yummy too. A pink bunny with a little crooked nose. And missing his pom-pom tail. That's just going to appear one day. And a little chick. I still think it needs some wings, but I don't really even feel like crocheting them. So, I'm going to let it go. It's a little chick. And my favorite is the whale. Oh, shark. It's a shark. My favorite is the shark cookie. Which one's your favorite? Whale, chick, bunny, green, frog, bear, or kitty cat? So, vote for your favorite. I would love to hear your favorite in the comments. And all the other questions that I asked you during the video. Oh, goodness, guys. Hey, this has been a super long video. If you made it to the end, I love you guys. I love you so much. I appreciate you hanging out with me. It's been real. It's been fun. I'll see you in the next video. Remember, it's a beautiful day to crochet. If you can muster up the energy to crochet or do whatever brings you some happiness, enjoy it today. And I'll see you guys later. Bye, friends.